Hi Cancer, thank you for joining me for your August general read. Please remember this is still a general reading, so it's not going to resonate for absolutely everybody. Please switch the energies around if it applies, but never try and force a timeline to fit your story, okay? If this isn't your story, then it's absolutely okay for you to just leave it be. And you might find that only segments of this will resonate for you, so you just leave the rest behind, okay? If you are a cross watcher, please do not take anything that comes out of this read personally, all right, because it might not even be your story at all. This month's shout out goes to Sentient Fire Tarot. It's just my little way of putting back into the community by helping to support other tarot readers and YouTube creators. So that's Sentient Fire Tarot. Right, so Cancer, let's find out what you could be dealing with in the month of August. Cancer Collective, please. For the month of August. Okay, so your first card out, that has actually been coming out for you quite a lot, Cancer. It's the Page of Wands. It's fire energy. It's action orientated, passionate, adventurous, but it can also be quite a cheeky energies as well. The Page of Wands always reminds me of sort of like a lovable rogue energies. Unfortunately, that is not what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with a lovable rogue, I'm afraid to say. You've got the Seven of Swords, that is Aquarian energy, and the Knight of Cups, it's Piscean. This particular combination is indicating to me that that there's something that's going on with an individual who is quite possibly one foot in the connection with you and the other foot out. Again, this can easily be reversed, all right? So this could be you that's doing it. This could be you considering moving away from your current romantic situation and into something that is brand new. However, there seems to be something about communication with the Seven of Swords, so you haven't yet fully communicated your desire to move out of your current situation. Okay, is there anything else for Cancers, please? Eight of Coins, that's Virgo energy. So that's perfecting your craft, working hard, trying to stay focused. The Eight of Coins is also something that you do to earn your finances. So it's like your career, your profession, and the Hierophant, Taurus energies. Right, so you're currently dedicated to your profession, you're dedicated to your craft. This, I'm feeling that this is a distraction technique here that you're using to avoid facing the current situation face on. The Seven of Swords can also be somebody getting away with something as well. So for a small handful of you, this is indicating an individual that you have caught basically flirting and offering their emotions to others. This is kind of like being cheated on an emotional level. There's an emotional betrayal here. You've got the Seven of Wands, that's Leo energy. Persevering, fighting through, determined as well. And Knight of Wands, yeah, Sagittarian energies. Flighty, non-committal. Okay, for some of you, not all of you, this is a connection that you thought was going to go somewhere. and it transpired that this particular individual was only interested in the short term, but they didn't inform you of this. So it's like you're trying to reclaim control of your life the best you can by controlling the things that you can. So it's like you can't control the actions of another, right? That is out with your control. So you're focusing on the things that you can control. And for some of you, this is your career, or this is just your home. It's slowly but surely clawing back some kind of normality into your life. See, with this combination, 7 of Wands, Knight of Wands, this is the energies of this one being non-committal, and you feel that you have to defend your heart and your emotions, for some of you, your home, from this particular individual. It's like they come rushing in, they tell you everything that you ever wanted to hear. They basically get the result that they want from you, and for some of you it is pertaining to just sleeping with you, and then they've left again. It's under there, 3 of Coins. So your blockages, that's Taurus energy, that's Libra energy with your 3 of Swords, and the Hermit's Virgo energy. Yeah, that's not good. So your blockages are the fact that this individual, they're not a team player. It's like this, I mean, you can see in the card, and with the cards next to it as well, the 3 of Coins has come out with the 3 of Swords and the Hermit, right? So straight away my attention is being brought to this one individual who's doing all of the work, while the other 2 are just looking on. Not helping, but watching. So this is telling me, Cancer, that this particular connection, whatever this is for you, love, romantic, familial, work orientated, it doesn't matter. What matters is the finer details of this read, which is you were the one that was doing all of the work. You were the one that was being used basically for whatever this individual could get. They told you everything that you wanted to hear, and it was all bullshit basically with the 7 of Swords. And then straight away they have gone and offered their time, their energy, their resources to another. Because you can see the Knight of Cups is moving out of the read, and it's kind of left you sort of looking on and wondering, WTF. This here is heartbreak and disappointment. It's a compromise, a painful compromise, but it's also a situation that has not played out in the way that you imagined. Right, and it's left you in hermit mode, which is introspection, trying to process your feelings and your emotions, trying to figure out what path you're going to go down next, where you are going to move on to, basically. The hermit has to introspect, because usually it's a star that's in his lamp. So the hermit has to introspect to find the star, which is the answers within. So it's telling me here that you actually do have all of the answers to this inside, right? It's just a case of traveling down that hurtful internal path, if you like, to try and gain some further clarity. You've got the King of Wands under there, which is all about taking action on your desires. It's someone who's very confident, active and determined as well, taking back your power. See, I'm feeling that is more of somebody currently keeping tabs on you, someone who's seeing how much that they can get away with doing towards you before you finally say, like, enough's enough, I'm done. There's no teamwork here. This situation is very one-sided. This particular theme has been coming out in your read a few times, Cancers. It definitely has come out a few times in your read, where you're the one that's doing all of the work, you're the one that's putting everything you've got into this situation, and you're getting nothing back but grief, anxiety, disappointment. And it's like you're stubbornly trying to make something work that isn't working. It's like almost as if you feel guilty for putting your boundaries up. And this isn't just with the fiery individual that's letting you do everything by yourself. This isn't just with them. This is in your life in general. You feel guilty for saying no. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you're being mean. Now, there's something here about unconditional love. First and foremost, you have to have unconditional love for yourself, okay? And the second thing is having unconditional love for another. It does not mean that you have to surrender your personal boundaries. There's definitely a blurred line here between you loving someone and you allowing them to walk all over you. Your personal boundaries are yours to put up and enforce, and to not be made feeling guilty for enforcing your personal boundaries. Definitely. There's this internal guilt here that you're struggling with. You know that this individual's taking the piss, and yet you still struggle to tell them enough is enough. Got further clarity for the Cancerian collective, please. Further clarity for Cancers. There we go. Girl with a snake. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable and boundaries. Cancers, you can love somebody unconditionally without having to surrender your own personal boundaries. It doesn't mean that you love them any less. It doesn't mean that you're being evil and nasty and mean or whatever. You have to protect your own energies first, and then you can extend yourself out to others. Now, this isn't going to resonate for absolutely loads, right? This is only going to resonate for a small handful of you. But what I'm looking at here is a Cancer who is incredibly kind and sweet-natured, a Cancer who has been bending over backwards to do everything that they possibly can for another, and is just basically being taken advantage of. Further clarity, thank you. Girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment and having fun. So somebody here is scared of being single. And somebody here is under the illusion that this current situation is the best that they're going to get. It's time here, Cancer, for you to change up your energy, change your perspective. Right, I've just heard, but I thought they would change. So they would like me to address that point. People are capable of change, right? It doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. The only way that somebody can change is if they genuinely want to. And what I'm seeing here in this read is, Cancer, you're dealing with an individual who doesn't believe that they should have to. Because at the moment, they're sitting pretty, right? They've got you literally doing everything for them. So they've got no motivation to change. Thank you. Play in the field. Still meeting or dating other people, seeing each other, being a player, and games being played. Again, this isn't going to resonate for very many. And for some, this is actually going to be reversed as well, okay? So for some, this is going to be cross-watchers reading. But because this is your read, Cancer, I do have to address you. And your cards are coming out here that, look, there's this individual that's basically taking the piss. I cannot find any other pleasant way of saying it. That there's somebody here that is 100% taking advantage of you and taking advantage of your good nature. And we have had that out in your read a couple of times before already. It's still here. Okay. Divine sensuality, making love and erotica. Put aside societal, cultural and traditional norms and judgments about who we choose and how we choose to enact essentially. Somebody could be viewing you as a temptress. It is your right to choose freely who you give yourself to. So, see with this, I'm getting that there's a bit of low self-esteem here, Cancer, when it pertains to being intimate, right? And it's like that there's somebody here that I'm reading for that seems to think that their current situation is the best that they're going to get. And the other individual that you're dealing with is in the connection purely for what they can get, basically. That there's someone here who is in a sexual relationship with an individual who has promised to commit to them, have promised this, that and the next, and it's literally the only time that you ever see this individual, or the only time that they ever communicate with you, is when they're wanting laid, basically. It's for Cancers, please. For some of you, your friends have warned you about this particular individual as well. But at that time, you thought that it was just sort of like jealous gossip with your girl talk card. Okay. Right, so we've got New Moon and Scorpio. Walk through your fears. It says, have some sexy time. Time to let go of lingering resentments and make an investment. A deep and transforming rebirth. This is a very strange dynamic here that you've got going on, Cancer, because whereas you are more sort of, it's like you've got a low self-confidence when it comes down to being intimate, and the individual that you're dealing with is putting it around, basically. So it's like the two complete opposites here. It's time for a rebirth, right? Work through your fears of why you've got this idea in your mind that that this is the best that you're going to get. That there's a root cause for that. Full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. Find the balance between the cosmic and the mundane in daily life. Worrying too much will attract more things for you to be worried about. Stop second guessing yourself. Cancer, you're more than capable of telling whoever this liar, cheater, user is, you're more than capable of telling them to GTFO. You're more than capable of being on your own temporarily. It's honestly, you will be snapped up quite quickly. There is so much more out there for you to go and explore and enjoy. Mutable moon, nothing is yet set in stone. I know that the best will unfold for me. You're meandering towards your goal, and that's okay. Staying adaptable is the key to success for you now. Make sure that you're not being led astray. Time to focus and stay with it. Yeah, Cancer, this individual has been promising you the earth. It doesn't matter what they say. They're not capable of putting their money where their mouth is. They're telling you everything that they think that you want to hear. But when the chips are down, they're nowhere to be seen. Nothing is yet set in stone. You can change this situation if that is what you want to do. Healing message, please, for Cancers. Okay. Right, so we've got Manaz. Right, it says, develop yourself in all of the ways that you can. Fulfill your potential. Do not shy away from the collective consciousness. Human nature means that mistakes are made, but we can learn from them. Working with and for the community is becoming important for you. Be rational about an issue rather than emotional. It says, from the God's breath I came and I was made whole. Life is given, fates are chosen. Word bestowed and flowed, but it is up to me now to move and to choose. It is up to me to shimmer the carvings and to shake the tree. I am Manaz. If Iwaz represents the horse, then Manos represents us, the humans, humanity, humankind. Our common strengths and weaknesses remind us that we are all human and we are all more alike than we are different. The Vikings relied on all members of their communities to contribute to the collective well-being, as well as fulfilling their personal fates and spiritual energy. To the Vikings, this combination, the personal striving for excellence in a chosen field and the responsiveness to the needs of the community as a whole, this was the recipe for a successful society. The rune Manaz asks for both, unapologetically. This rune also indicates the need for a stronger connection between the gods and man, for greater trust in the divine. It was believed that the gods gave us our gifts, but it was up to us to push fate along and to achieve our full potential. The waste of talent was a great source of sadness to the Norse. One did not squander good health, a good pair of hands, or an inclination towards poetry, music, or service to the gods. This card can indicate that mistakes have been made, acknowledge them, make amends for them, and learn from them. You are being too emotional about an issue, or you have made something impersonal personal. Right. The main message I'm getting with that particular card for you Cancers here is that there was heavy emphasis on this part here. The Vikings relied on all members of their communities to contribute to the collective well-being. Right? You are around an individual that is not contributing to this connection or this relationship. They are too busy looking at all of their other options Empath and narcissist paradigm: being charmed or used, enable boundaries. Time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment and having fun. Play in the field, still meeting or dating other people, seeing each other, being a player and games being played. This is your energy, the Three of Swords. It's like, you know what this combination is here, the Hermit and Three of Swords? You're blaming yourself. You're blaming yourself for this individual not putting in the work in this connection. That's not on. You're dealing with an individual here who does not view others as independent individuals. They view others as resources. And when you stop giving to this individual, you see how quickly it takes them to bolt and find their next mug. This is a user, and this keeps coming up in your read. If there's any doubt at all, Cancer, try telling this individual no and see what their reaction is. And that will give you all of the answers that you need. Because you're currently ignoring your own intuition about this individual, because that low self-esteem hasn't yet been addressed, because you're scared to be on your own. You've got it in your head that nobody else is going to want you, and that's bullshit. Surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. The universe is wanting to bring you gifts here, right? But currently, you're blocked. And your energy is being blocked by this empty vessel that is taken from you to fill up their vessel. It's time for you to surrender and to open yourself up, ready to start receiving. So Cancers, please. And stop blaming yourself for the actions of others as well. You cannot control what others do, but you can control how long individuals like that stay in your life for. That's what you do have control over. Right, so you've got Capricorn energy, and that is all about career, reputation, your profession, the things that you do for finances. So yeah, it's like some of you have had to take on a second and third job, for some of you, to help support this individual. You're taking on far too much work here. There's a need here for you to ground yourself again. There's also, with the Capricorn energy, there's something about reputation as well. It's like there's a fear of being proven wrong, especially for those where your friends had already warned you about this particular individual. Taurus energy. That's all about comforts, beauty, possessions, income, assets. It's an artistic energies as well. This is indicating that it is time for you to start protecting your possessions, protecting your energy, protecting your creativity as well. You've got Mercury, and that is the ruling planet for Virgo. And Gemini as well. It's the planet of communication, intellect and reason. So yeah, it's time for you to be realistic about this individual. And for some of you, it's time for you to mourn the individual that you thought they were, because that person never actually existed in the first place. So you're going to have to go through a grieving process. And remember that it's not you, it's them. Communicate. Stop being afraid to communicate what this individual is putting you through. Sagittarian energy. And this is an energy that's all about travel, study. It's also the card of philosophy as well. So yeah, it's like you've been making excuses for this individual as to why they've been behaving the way that they have been. It's time for you to go out there, Cancer, and have an adventure and see what else is out there for you with the Sagittarian energy. Water, emotions, yeah. Saturn, that's the card of Capricorn. That's the ruler for Capricorn. It's also the planet of restrictions, pessimism and structure. So your emotions are currently restricting you. You're being held prisoner by your emotions. And the individual that you're dealing with knows full well that that they can emotionally blackmail you. Aquarius, this energy is all about friendship, groups, it's all about luck, your hopes, your wishes, community as well. That there's been a lot about community and team playing in this read for you, Cancer. This individual is not a team player. They're not. Moon. That's your ruling planet, Cancer. It's the planet of emotions, instincts, habits. It's the planet of illusions as well. It's time for you to take back your power and to stand in your own energy. It's time for you to reclaim your authenticity. Okay, so for those of you who are easily offended at swearing, then your read has ended now. Thank you very, very much for watching. And for those of you who don't give a shit, this is the Rebel deck. This is the deck that I always use at the end of the beginning month reads, so it doesn't show up mid-month in the romance reads, for example. It's very brutal, very blunt, and it can be quite offensive as well. It works in exactly the same way as all of the other tarot and oracle, where it's for the viewers to decide what side of the table that they're sitting at for every single card that comes out. Okay, so it's all still completely interchangeable. Right, some of you are very spiritually minded as well, and you're being asked, it was just a channeled message that was coming through there, you're being asked to get back to basics and to get back to grips with your spirituality, because you are needed to help raise the consciousness of the collective. Right, this individual that you've been dealing with has taken you out of your own energies, and they have taken you away from the path that you should have been on. So it's time for you to get back onto your spiritual path. That is a very specific message there for those who are very sort of spiritually minded, very gifted. The world is needing you back, basically. Right, we've got whatever you're thinking about, don't do it. Now is not the fucking time. Take a shot, don't take 12, take 1, okay, maybe 2, move on. Get over yourself and pull your shit together. Help people, give back, and do good shit for humanity. That is for the individual that you've been dealing with. That is for the taker. Stop talking, shut your mouth and listen. They need to start listening to you, and you need to start voicing your opinion. Love. Get some, give some. It'll cheer your ass up. Okay. So yeah, that is what I have for you, Cancer. Please get in touch if that has resonated for you, because I literally have no idea what it is I'm reading. I just have to trust my cards and the other messages as and when they come in. I do read all of your comments, and I try to reply to as many as I can, but I absolutely do read them all and appreciate every single interaction on my channel. So yeah, thank you so much to all of those who have already supported my channel. You all absolutely rock. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and to hit the notifications bell as well. That will send you an alert then every time I upload a brand new video. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, then that information can be found in my pinned comments and in my descriptions box below. Okay, so yeah, thank you again, Cancers. Please do take care out there. Very best of luck with this. I completely and utterly sympathise with your situation, by the way, just as a side note, because during a read I am not allowed to use ego. I'm not allowed to judge. I'm not allowed to put my own opinion into a read. But now that the read is over, I will say I absolutely sympathise with your current situation, because I have been there. I have been in that exact situation. Not just once, not just twice, but a few times. And it's really difficult trying to break yourself free from the illusions that another has cast, right? But you can do it. You will do it, and you are going to get back to the path that you were supposed to be on. You have got everything inside you already that it takes to see this thing through, and to see past the illusions as well. It's never a nice situation, and I know how hard it is to break free from someone who's just a complete user. They're a leech. But you have to remember that they're not just leeching off you, they are leeching off society as a whole. All right? They have no authenticity, and this is why they have to take from others, because they themselves have got nothing to give. They are literally an empty vessel. So yeah, honestly, I'm wishing you all of the luck in the world to see this thing through. You are strong enough, and you do have what it takes. Right, so no more self-doubt. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Please do take care out there as well, Cancers. All right, bye.